moment. All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to have John also, if you want to go ahead and share the first slide. All right, thank you so much. All right, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sarah Wolf. I'm the Community Building Program Manager here at Future Heights. I'm so thrilled that you all could join us tonight to learn about our Neighborhood Mini-Grant program and to hear from the folks who received awards in 2023. Future Heights is very proud to have served both Cleveland Heights and University Heights for over 20 years. This program is one of many that we offer that helps provide support to those communities that we love so much. And I'm so pleased to introduce now to you a member of our committee, Carrie Zerfas, who will tell you more about the program that we are celebrating. Carrie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Carrie Zerfas. I'm a member of the Neighborhood Mini-Grant Committee, and on behalf of everyone who is part of this program, we are very excited and thank you all for being here at the Future Heights 2023 Mini-Grant celebration. A little information about the program. So this program awards up to $1,000 in funding for neighborhood level projects and initiatives in Cleveland Heights and University Heights. And there are 2 application periods in the spring and fall. Since 2015, we are proud to have provided mini-grant funding to 95 projects totaling over $65,000. In 2023 alone, we have funded 21 projects, totaling, as you can see, over $15,000, which was our biggest year yet, which is really exciting. But tonight is about hearing about the stories behind the dollars and seeing how these inspiring neighborhood leaders have rolled up their sleeves, often literally, to add the vibrancy to where they live, work, and play. So of course, we want to thank the Cedar Legacy Fund for providing ongoing support for this program. And now I'm going to turn it back over to everybody's favorite MC, Sarah, who is going to introduce the first mini grant recipient of the evening. You're muted, Sarah.
Thank you. You'd think by now we'd know how Zoom works, but anyways, we all keep it kind of flowing here. All right. Well, thank you so much, Carrie. Appreciate that. We have a packed evening tonight. So in order to keep everything flowing, we are going to ask that if you have any questions for our presenters, that you put those questions in the chat, and please feel free to utilize the chat as our evening is going along. We will try to have some time at the end of all the presentations for any additional questions, either for the individual groups or, for the presenters, if time permits. But for now, we're going to just go ahead and jump into our first program that was awarded in 2023 in spring. We'll start with spring. So I'm going to turn it over now to Amit Shuk, who is representing Garrity PTA. Take it away, Amit.
Hi, I'm going to see if I can share my screen here and do a little short presentation because I think pictures speak more than words. Let me go here. Of course, it's blocking that. Hold on, I think so. It's actually blocking the menu where I can actually pull up the presenting mode. Anyway, so we'll just go through it like this. So can you see it? I hope.
We can.
Great, thank you. So the Garrity High Garden High Tunnel classroom remodel. Our goal was to continuously to create a living classroom that is self-sustaining for the community to learn through curiosity, and it's a place where teachers feel comfortable holding class. Basically, it's a large class with supplies on hand, including bugs and dirt and seeds and etc. So some background on this project. About 10 years ago, Garrity Elementary School received a grant for a high tunnel. And with that grant came funds for managing it. Then the funding ran out about 7 years ago. It was put on the shoulders of the STEM teacher at the time, who was already busy. And so what was a full-time job could not be managed without that, and it became weeds. And so about 60 years ago, with my baby, my son BB, who was a baby at the time, I got out there to be a good PTA mom, and I was like, oh. I came up with the idea of starting a CSA, community supported agriculture. If we're already growing plants on here, why not have them produce food, and why not sell that food so that the community has access to fruit, to like local food, and also the garden gets funding so that it can continue without having to rely directly on grant support. And so then we basically ended up with a teeny educational urban farm, and the PTA loved it. They supported it. Some of the teachers supported it, and we gave this CSA a try. It started out with 3 members, moved up to 6, and then up to I think it peaked at 15, and that was great. But it provides the minimum. And I think that our kids, our future, our community deserves more than the minimum. So I started looking at Future Heights. I worked with them on another project before, and it made sense to me to ask PTA if they would be interested in a Future Heights grant, and they were. And so I worked with the PTA and the school to get that going. I'm going to see if I can click this link here and get this video. So this is the classroom before the workday.
Classroom. This is the before. We're going to be doing an event this Sunday to turn this into an amazing space and clean it up. And you are all welcome to come join and help make this happen.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get back to here. Okay, so what we're looking to, this is a little bit more about how we were doing things with, again, just the CSA without really any budget for improvements. So the plan was basically community was willing and businesses were willing to donate supplies, but thousands of pounds of materials is not something I found that the average volunteer really has the time and energy to move. DB. Hot Wheels tracks. It's my son in the background. So we needed some like paid labor to get the supplies there. And then I knew I could, if I set up a day, we had some volunteers, a lot of them are supporters of the CSA, that they would help with some pizza. And so we got the supplies there. We set up a work day. The pictures will slowly load up. Here we go. There's some pizza. We have Garrity has a pizza oven, so we get to make pizza on hand from a wood stove, which is pretty cool. And we put it together, and there's the pictures over there. So it's a marked improvement. We now can tell the kids they can go up to the barrels versus being like, that's on rickety wood, so maybe stay back. And it's comfortable for kids to sit here. Some kids have like issues with like touching and feeling plants and sensory issues. So this is a lot more sensory friendly, where they can be outside, be next to the plants, get comfortable, and learn. And yeah, after we set this up, we had 2 classes out there who help put fish into the barrels, because the barrels, it's a part of an aquaponic system. We're showing off all different methods of farming out there on a teeny scale. And so thank you very much, Future Heights, for making this possible. And thank you for all those in the community who helped also make this possible, including the businesses. And I would be remiss if I didn't shout out to anybody who wants to come join in. Garrity is an ongoing, mostly volunteer type of thing. So that's my contact info. And I am done. I'm gonna stop presenting and pass it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amit. I've been out to check out this garden space. It's really awesome. And I'm glad that you did the plug there to invite people to come and participate in what you're doing, Amit, because it's really awesome and incredible. And lots of opportunity for people to get involved. It's really impressive. And I also just shout out Amit as a graduate of our leadership program. So always happy to be able to continue working with our leadership grads. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing, Amit.
Yeah, thank you for all the work that you're doing, and that that's a great program, that leadership program. So.
Oh, good. Yes. Thank you so much. We have a couple grads here on the call, so I love that. Well, thank you so much, Amit, and we will move on now to our next presenter. So we are going to hear from Robin Van Leer, who is going to be talking about her project, This Art is for the Birds. Take it away, Robin.
Hi. Anyway, I'm with Artful. I'm part of Artful, which is the group that created This Art is for the Birds. It was our first time doing a community devised theater project. I had the idea that it would be cool to do something that would be fun, that would be good for all ages, and that also people could be part of the making. And so we started with a group of high school students that became our interns that we worked with last spring. And then beginning as soon as school was out, we started a series of 5 weeks of workshops. And we had workshops for families, workshops for students, and switched up by different age groups. And we began to create our flocks of birds. And I'm hoping I can aim this correctly so that you'll get to see some of the birds we made. We had, I'm just aiming, so I hope you're getting to see these. We had bluebirds, we had loons, we had cardinals, we had these baby birds, which were baby Polish roosters. Can we see the Polish roosters? There's a cute guy. We had an English or European corn kit, this cute guy here. The piece, basically, we worked with the kids that were making all the different birds, and they got to pick what aspects of our environment they thought those birds would most want to save. And so the bluebirds wanted everyone to love dandelions and stop putting pollutants in their yard, using chemicals on their lawn. The loons really wanted people to stop single-use plastic, because the fish got all this little plastic in their gut, and it made them not very healthy for the loons. The cardinals, they told people to stop driving their cars, and they had this whole little skit about driving cars and not driving cars. The peacocks, which are in the other room, and maybe I'll run in and try to show them to you. Hold on, don't get sick. I hope you don't get seasick. Here's our peacocks. Can you see them? Let's see, peacocks, where are you? There's peacocks. Peacocks were made by a local artist, Rafael Valdivieso. The peacocks wanted people to stop using fast fashion. So we had all these cool props that people used to highlight fast fashion that was not so good for the environment, not so cool to have stuff that was just made and then thrown away. So, hi, I'm back. In the end, we had artists that worked with kids to create the script. Eric Coble put the main script together. We had Kaleem Hill, who's a local actor and filmmaker, who was the narrator. We had a chorus, a Greek chorus of ravens, who and their part was written by the kids in the camp working with Story Reinhardt KDs and Raja Freeman to write the text for them. I think it was actually a huge success. We presented it 2 days in the Peace Park, and we had, this was our carrots that the Polish roosters were growing for the family farm. We had about over 300 people in the 2 days, and we had a reggae band that played, and we had choreography so that each one of the groups of birds had a reggae song that went with them. Like one of them was Baby You Can Drive My Car. There was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And it was a cool event this year. So giving the shout out, this year we're going to be creating a piece based on the music by Sam Silverstein. And it's the Homeric epic called The Battle of the Frogs and the Mice and the Frogs. And so we're going to be making all these mice helmets and frog helmets. The frog is done, well, the first sample. The mice still has to be done. And then once again, you can come, you can be in our workshops, you can come and join us. We're going to be presenting at the end of August, and we'd love to have more community members take part. We had 40 about last year that were part of the show. Anyway, I hope I didn't go over. Thank you very much. Thank you, Future Heights. It was a great event.
Robin, we're so lucky to have you and your artistry here in the Heights. It is just so cool. Anytime you do any kind of event, it's always just so spectacular. And I was able to go and check out this art for the birds at one of the events over the summer. It was fantastic. So I'm so happy that our grant dollars can help support that project. And thank you so much for sharing it and showing some of the art. That was incredible.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, one of the things that was nice was the grant also spurred us being able to take it, and we brought it to University Heights and showed it again, presented it again for their Fall Fest. And I noticed Brady just said she has a video up for the access people can get to see it. So thank you very much.
Yes, and I believe that the reggae band that you hired that you worked with, they also played Heights Music Hop this year too, which is pretty cool. So
yeah,
love that. That is awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Robin. And next we're going to go to Yolanda Stone, who's going to be speaking about or who is representing the Berkeley Road Street Club, talking about their block party. Yolanda, you're up, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to let Sarah present the pictures, and the pictures speak for themselves. I'm Yolanda Stone, and I do represent Berkeley Road Street Club, and we gave a block party in August, and we actually serve Berkeley residents from South Taylor to Euclid Heights Boulevard. And our grant, the mini grant, allowed us to purchase signs and food and entertainment. As you can see in the pictures, we had the fire department there. They brought their truck, and the firefighters were very interactive with the children who attended. The police department sent an officer, and the officer was there for an entire hour to talk to the children. We again had food and dancing and music. We had games for the children, and also face painting, as you can see. We also had the council candidates to come by and talk to the residents about their concerns. So we had a fantastic time. We had probably about 75 people in attendance. And this was good because we hadn't had one since 2017, before the pandemic. And so this allowed us to get together again and to start to establish relationships. We had a number of people who actually moved on the street, so we got to meet new neighbors and develop some of these relationships. We had a really, really good time, and we're looking forward to doing it again. And we just want to thank Future Heights so much for allowing us or giving us the mini grant. We got $500, and as I said, it allowed us to make this happen. And I think the residents really had a great time, and they are looking for our next block party.
Beautiful, beautiful, Yolanda. Thank you so much for sharing. This event has such a long history. I know, I can't remember, I know that you and Charlotte had said it had been going on for something like decades, that it was such a tradition. I'm so glad that you were able to bring it back to your street. It, like, those photos just really captured a lot of joy. That's really all I got from looking at those photos. So I'm so glad that you're able to share those and share about the experience. And I mean, talk about community building. I don't know what's much more community building than a great block party. And I feel like all of you on Berkeley Street Club need to come together and teach the community how to put these awesome events on. You guys are expert at it. So thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And we did start in, I think it was 2006 when we first started having our block party.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
So cool, so cool. Thank you so much, Yolanda. And up next, we have Jen Holland, who is representing Building Heights.
Hello.
Or India, or India. You
Yeah, I am here. It's India. I'm trying to get my camera to work. Hold on. You know how these things are. Oh, but look at me. I'm pointing so down. Hold on. Oh, hello, everybody. How's everyone this evening? My name is India Mesig, and I am representing Building Heights. We're a 501c3 located right here in Cleveland Heights. If you see me staring off to the side, it's because we have some prepared statements, because I don't want to leave anything out. You know, when you're talking, oftentimes you forget to say the things you mean to say. The program was granted a wonderful grant, and the grant that we received supports our mixed media arts camp, where the children make short films, apply short scores, and show that to the public once they're done. This takes place in the early summer, right around the end of the school year. We start to meet where they start to have their writing sessions. They'll present their ideas to a group of people, and then we have writing sessions to bring everything to fruition, and then we begin filming, and we do that at Heights High. At the end of this, we usually show the films at Heights High. This year, we'll be showing them at Cedar Lee, so that is very exciting. And the date is to be announced, and when we do have that, we want to invite the whole community in. It's going to be open to the public, and we're really excited about that new development. The grant that we received goes towards paying professionals to come in and teach the children the craft. So it's really so important. It allows us to get people who are a part of the industry, who work in the fields, to come in and talk to the kids about the behind the scenes, what they need to do. They're getting real professionals coming in and guiding them through this process. And we really couldn't do it without you. And we're just so grateful for the continued support. And we are really excited to have the community come in now that we'll be at the Cedar Lee showing the films, and getting to know what we do and getting to see our kids. We also present to GCUF at the end of the year. So after we do our own film festival, we go into GCUF, where the kids are part of a panel. They answer questions from the public there. So it just is this continuation of them representing themselves, showing what they can do, talking to the public. And when I tell you they're so poised, they are so excited. They're so proud of their work. It just really warms our hearts. Jen and I have been doing this for so long, and it means so much that we can continue to do this. And Jen also has some video to share. So take it away, Jen. Jen, are you?
Can't hear it.
Yeah, I think our volume is a little off.
I think when you play videos, there's something that needs to be done.
Hmm.
When you play
Jen, are you
videos.
able to get the audio on?
Courage of conviction, we take our next steps into the world. What is it? Sky! Awesome! We must find our way. Look, I'm stubborn, I know.
To live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. And it may sound easy, but nothing can be hard.
So it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
That's up to you.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't unmute. My apologies.
These things are so difficult. So I think all of us, it wouldn't be a video meeting without some technical difficulties. I'm telling you.
Can you play it again, Jen?
We might not have time to play it
Oh,
again
okay.
right now, but definitely, I believe that video is on their website. I think that I saw Jen drop the link to their website in the chat. I definitely recommend you all check that out. I believe they also have some of the videos that these students have created on their website as well. I've had the privilege of being able to go to the screenings the last couple of years. They held them at the high school. So cool to hear they're going to be at the theater this year. That's so rad. But definitely check out these videos. This workshop, this camp it's so cool. I always tell Jen and India that I wish that when I was in middle school that this was an option because I would have loved to participate in this camp for sure. So just so happy for the work that you all are doing and to see your program continue to grow, and appreciate you all being here tonight.
Well, thank you so much for your continued support. It means the world to us. Thank you.
Yes, of course, of course. And we'll move on next now to Cole Ware. I believe he's up next. Yep. Who is representing the Coventry Living Room Project. So Cole, go ahead, take it away.
Thank you, Sarah, and good evening, folks. You'll give me just a second to share my screen with you. All right. So as Sarah mentioned, my name is Cole Ware, and I'm representing the Coventry Living Room Project. The project is a community-based placemaking effort that's focused around Pecar Park, which is a plaza at the corner of Euclid Heights Boulevard and Coventry Road in the commercial district. You'll see a picture of it right here on the right, taken sort of before we got started with the project. The project aimed really to do two things. And first, that was to strengthen the sense of community in the neighborhood. And then second, to help support better foot traffic as a way to sort of in turn support some of the small businesses on the street. During this process, we did a lot of community engagement. A number of folks on this call attended some of our in-person design sessions or filled out some of the surveys that we did. And during that process, we had over 80 different people, most of whom who live in Coventry or in Cleveland Heights, telling us what they wanted to see with the space. And some of the things that we heard were a desire for more seating, for public art, for greenery, for shade, and for some form of interactive elements, especially things that are a little bit more oriented towards kids. So you'll see on the right here, an early sketch of some of the layout for the potential space. But I'm going to share with you a short video that sort of shows what the actual byproduct of all of this work was. Now, a lot of the credit for the success of this space, of course, goes to a lot of the great artists we worked with. You heard from Robin earlier. She's one of those who worked on this project. So a lot of thanks to them in particular. In terms of what's next, the living room was out for portions of last summer and the fall, and is set to return this May. Hopefully the first weekend of May is our goal, and we'll be there through the summer and fall. Our plan is to do a little bit of work expanding the project this year to include some more interactive elements, especially those that might be relevant to kids, as well as to support some programming in the space as well. So if you have any interest in the project, want to learn more, definitely reach out to me. Happy to address any questions or to add you to our email list. So, thanks.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Cole. And I love the Coventry living room. I've definitely hung out there a bunch of times and helped with some of the setup and tear down of the space. Really looking forward to it coming back. I think it's such a cool new feature in the Coventry neighborhood and just so very Coventry. So thank you for all of the work that you did, Cole, to bring that project to life, and to all the artists and all the other community members who worked with you on that as well. We will now move on to Thea Spittle, who is representing Gallery 2602. Thea, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taya. Thank you so much for having us, Sarah. We're so excited. Can everybody hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, thank you so much. So I am very excited to present Gallery 2602. This project was founded by myself and my colleague and good friend, Deidre McPherson, and we wanted to have an exhibition of Antoine Washington, who is a local Cleveland-based artist, and have his first solo show. And at the time, Deidre and I lived together in the Coventry Village, right off Euclid Heights Boulevard on Hampshire Road. And we turned our house into a gallery space. We're very committed to arts ourselves. I'm a curator, an art curator. Deidre is a program curator and advocate for the arts. So this was a natural partnership, and we worked with different organizations to raise money, including Future Heights. So this project opened June 9th. This is an image of us loading the art into the house. This is Antoine with some of his artwork all wrapped up. We hired one of our friends to install the work, and these are exhibition installation images of the work in our house. So I wanted to share those real quick so people can get an idea of what it looks like to see a professionally installed art exhibition in a home. I think it really made for a very inviting atmosphere. And we were very pleased. We had over 300 people come throughout the run of the exhibition. It was open from June 9th to July 31st. And we used the living room area and then the upstairs office area for showing the exhibition. And we were awarded a grant that helped us allowed us to make screen prints of one of the paintings of Antoine's work here called Juneteenth. So we made these at Zygote Press, and we used this grant to make these screen prints. And then also this publication, which was a risograph printed publication with reproductions of the artworks. And then I wrote an essay for the show about the show as well. And this is opening night, exhibition night. This is just a great image of all the different people that were there. We had probably like 150 people the opening night, and then we had a barbecue, a kickback barbecue for the neighborhood and anyone who wanted to come to just enjoy the artwork. And it was very family friendly. These are just this is Deidre on the left here, my co-director, and Antoine with other artists. So these pictures just really represent all of the community initiatives that we made. We had a film screening as well that we showed in our back driveway, which has this beautiful ivy covered walls. So again, I love how we were right after your project, Cole, with the outdoor living space, because we really enacted that in our backyard as well. We even had an artist talk. We collaborated with Museum of Creative Human Art. They're an incredible nonprofit. Look up their art education programs. So they did a podcast for us. We talked about our initiatives and had lots of different gallery owners, CMA folks come through, and just lots of community members that wanted to experience Antoine's art. This is a group from American Greetings that came by. We had collectors and musicians come through. And for the end of the project, we had a neighbor day. So these are people that lived in the neighborhood that came by, and we really just wanted people to feel like they could come in off the street and enjoy art. And this was then for our final opening or final closing reception. We did a bike ride because Deidre and I really love to ride bikes. So we did a large group ride, and Antoine, the artist, he has public art all throughout the city. So we did a bike route that gave us a tour of all of those different locations, including this public mural, which is on Superior and around East 38th, I believe, right over a restaurant. So that's the project. And thank you so much, Future Heights, for helping make this possible. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so cool. You know, we always say that Cleveland Heights is home to the arts, and you all took that literally and ran with it, and like, what a cool idea and what an amazing project. So glad that we were able to support it, and I don't know, it just makes me smile. It's really, really wonderful. I love celebration night. It's just like we bring all of these wonderful projects together, and so this is just very cool, very cool. So thank you so much. Next, we're going to move on to Milliken Neighborhood Group, and I believe that we have. Oh no, I'm sorry, not yet. We are. We'll get to you in one moment. First, we don't want to skip over anybody. So next, we actually have Heights Tree people. I believe Julie is here on the call, and Julie, it is now your turn.
Hello, hi. I'm Julie Gerke, and I am with Heights Tree People. And our project was the Neela View Tree Watering Project this year. Just for a bit of background, Heights Tree People, we're an all-volunteer nonprofit here in Cleveland Heights that plants trees for free in residents' front yards in Cleveland Heights and University Heights. We started in 2019 and we've planted 1,000 trees since then. Our mission is mostly educating about and also advocating for the environment and the social benefits of trees. So while our main focus is planting in private residential front yards, each season we like to do a community-focused project. And so with the FutureHeights Mini-Grant, we did the Neela View Road watering project, which was in the Noble Caledonian neighborhood. As an overview, the project was to water the 45 newly planted tree lawn trees on Neela View Road between Noble Road and Winsford. The trees were planted by the city in an effort to revitalize that neighborhood along with Start Right CDC. And our goal was to ensure that the trees survived their first summer. So when trees are young and they're relocated, they expend a lot of energy making leaves, and the root systems are still quite small. So they're very vulnerable during the summer when it gets really hot and dry. So the stress of a hot summer can kill trees and damage them. So our goal was to help ensure that they were successfully established in their new location, because after the first summer, there is a much better chance that they will be able to flourish in their new location without supplemental watering support. So the funds from the FutureHeights Mini-Grant were used to cover the expenses associated with watering the trees. What we did was we hired someone to water the trees weekly during the summer from June until the end of September. And it took our waterer 4 hours to do this each week. So what they would do is we use the funds to purchase a 250-gallon used water tank that was loaded onto a pickup truck. And the city kindly donated the water for this project, which was about a $900 value. So we filled the water tank with water at the Noble Road Sewer Department building, and then watered the trees. And without this grant support, we would not have been able to do the project. And I'm very happy to say all of the trees survived their first summer. And another fun fact is that in addition to watering the trees, we also picked up garbage along the street. And you can really tell that a sense of pride started to take hold with the trees, because the first week there was about 2 garbage bags worth of trash on the street. And by the end, there was less than an eighth of that amount. And we actually had a local resident say to us that this street is now her favorite to walk her dog. So you can see that even though the trees are young, they really are having an impact on the community and making it have more of a sense of place and community. So now to talk about just the benefits of trees and why this was an important project. The Caledonia neighborhood is a historically sort of segregated neighborhood, and like many of these neighborhoods, it has suffered from disinvestment over time, which among other things results in a reduced tree canopy. And with a reduced tree canopy, you have higher levels of air pollution, higher summer temperatures, higher utility bills, and just generally lower health outcomes for residents. People are happier and healthier when they live with trees. So I'm just going to give you some fun tree facts now. But with trees, stress goes down, as do stress-related diseases, including heart attacks, strokes, anxiety, and depression. And studies have also shown that crime, including domestic violence, is lower in neighborhoods with good tree canopies. Property values go up. Neighborhoods are more stable when there are plenty of trees. They also cool houses and they reduce respiratory diseases. So when trees are lost or missing, their many benefits are gone too, which are essential to the well-being of any community. People make communities, but trees make communities great. And so we are really happy that we were able to do this project, and we are so grateful to FutureHeights for the funding. And I'm going to add a link in the comments here just so everyone can see some photos and also a video of the street. And by all means, when you're next in the neighborhood, drive down Neela View Road between Noble and it's the final cross street, which is Winsford, and just see the trees. There are 45 tree lawn trees and an additional 2 front yard trees. And we're really happy with how it all turned out. So thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Julie. Heights Tree People does such cool work here in the community. And I think I saw a social media post from y'all that you're sort of people can apply. Isn't that how it works?
Oh, yes. Yes. I should take a moment to encourage everyone to encourage your neighbors to plant trees and take advantage of our free front yard tree program, which is now accepting applications for spring planting. And there's no cost whatsoever, not for the tree, not for the planting. So you can see more about it at heightstreepeople.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. That's amazing. We are now going to move on to Milliken Neighbors, who I started to introduce before. Sorry, I got excited when I saw Milliken Neighbors, I guess. I believe Robin and Cindy are both here on the call, and they will tell you a little bit about what they did with their grant funding. Robin and Cindy.
Well, you can't see me because I'm not allowed yet. Now can I start it? Nope. Okay, it doesn't matter. The Milliken Neighborhood Group has as its primary focus really working to nope. Sarah, I don't have permission to video, which is too bad because I want to share my screen in a second. Oh, okay. Got it. Anyway, our primary focus is to build community in a very diverse neighborhood in ways that people don't often think about diversity in Cleveland Heights. For 2023, we intentionally chose to try to do fewer things because we did, I think, almost 40 events last year, and it kind of broke Robin and I. This year we did some things that helped that along. We did some recruiting of neighborhood members to take over some of the pieces. And we had one volunteer from the Orthodox community that took over movie night, another that took over planning and working to work on the garden that we maintain there. And there's another one. Oh, the bubble party. And can I share my screen, Sarah? I'd rather show pictures of things.
You'd be able to, yeah.
They're not in any kind of order. So we'll just go through them as I speak. And so a couple of the events that we held, one of the things we learned this year is that the simpler the event, the better the attendance. And the more we stressed over trying to do more complicated things like booking music and so forth, the attendance wasn't that great. This is, we were able to also work with other Heights organizations. And here you see Danielle from Whiz Bang Circus, more Whiz Bang Circus, which is always popular and draws a huge crowd. But the best was the bubble and face painting party. We had about almost 90 people show up for that. Bubbles and face painting. Oh, and square dancing. That was another day. We brought in square dancers. We all had lots of fun. We worked really hard. And our focus, as I said, our focus is really on community building too. And oh, in the background there, you can see how the garden was doing. It was pretty well during the. And I think that's all the pictures. What else did I want to say? In total, we did 20 events, and I'm loving listening to all these other presenters talk about really focusing on a single thing and getting that done and doing a great job. I think Robin would probably agree with that. Overall, we had about 460 participants that joined us for those things. We published 2 advocacy articles, and we also, in addition to working to recruit community members in partnership to say, yes, this is important and we'll take on some of the responsibility. We also, excuse me, we also raised funds outside the delightful grant that Future Heights gave us, including over $250 in direct donations from the community, as well as 2 donations from local businesses. And so it was in some ways a terrific year, and in some ways difficult. We had more challenges, we had more vandalism, and there are still some things that we need to recruit some other folks to help us out with. Robin had something to add there.
The New York Times had an interesting article about creating community. And one of the points was sometimes you just need a space where people can sit next to each other. And I think that's what we've successfully created, that we have neighbors who might not, I mean, the sun was out today, and when I was driving by, I saw 2 different families at the playground. And the space is attractive, and people come and they maybe break down stereotypes about each other. And that's fine with me. If that's what we've done, and people appreciate that it looks nice and there are things to do. That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks. That's it. That's all we got, Sarah.
That's all you got. Absolutely wonderful. I wrote that down, Rob, and I love that. People just need a space where they can sit next to each other. That's really beautiful. I think many of the projects tonight demonstrate that happening here in our community. So thank you for making Milliken Playground one of those places. And thanks for the work that you're doing there. And
welcome.
Next we're going to
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're going to turn it over next to Jim Petrus, who is representing neighbors on Lenox Road. Take it away, Jim.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Jim Petrus, and tonight I'm presenting on behalf of myself, Jess Corshaw-Brown, and Xavier Tudevin. We all live on Lenox Road in our Cedar Fairmount neighborhood. And for those not familiar, this is the street where Starbucks and Chipotle are located. Unfortunately, a lot of trash is dropped by customers of Starbucks and Chipotle, and this trash then blows down and litters our street. So we came up with the idea to purchase durable outdoor trash cans. We didn't realize just how expensive these cans are, so we are grateful to learn about the Mini-Grant program. After we were awarded our grant, we reached out to property owners along our road and identified one who would be willing to have 2 trash cans on their property. Unfortunately, now they're reluctant to host the cans, so we are currently working very hard to identify a new property where we can put our cans. Again, we could not have moved ahead with this without the Mini-Grant program, and so we are thankful to Future Heights for their support. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for being here tonight to present, and thanks for doing that work in your neighborhood. It is very important, to have a clean space to live in, and being able to remove trash from the street is a huge step in that direction. So thank you for that work, and thank you for your diligence. I know it can be frustrating sometimes to figure out, how to make the dream come alive, but you're doing the work, and so that's really wonderful. Next, we're going to turn it over to Don McBride, who is representing the Noble Cigar Box Guitar Project. Take it away, Don.
Do I need to do anything to make my face come up here?
You're right there. I can see you.
Oh, well, I can't see me, so that's okay. I know what I look like. I'm with the Noble Cigar Box Guitar Project, and we are an intergenerational project to build and play cigar box guitars. And we do a program every summer with middle school aged kids, and we produce the adults will produce the kits, and then we provide them free to the group of kids, and then we spend 4 afternoons to putting the guitars together and then to learning how to play. And we're very gratified that there have been people from previous years who want to come back and help, not do the project again because they already have guitar. And that's always very nice. And we have been doing these at Disciples Christian Church. They have the last few years been putting up a tent in their courtyard, and they've allowed us to use the tent, and it's just been wonderful, especially at the end of COVID. We were able to be outside. I'm going to try to do, wait a minute, what am I trying to do here? Share screen. This is not, there we go, I think. Well, I'm having technical difficulties here too. Okay, these are some photos of the workshop itself. So we had 6 adults who were working, and we had 4 kids this year. And if Robin is still on, thank you, Robin, because 3 of the kids were her grandchildren. And here we are again, working with the kids, and you can see the church there in the background. And that was putting it together, and we're having a little trouble here. There we go. And then this is learning. So we have get in a circle, and this is Melissa Richmond here, who kind of leads the teaching part of this program for us. And she was out in front so that everyone could see, and the music was on an easel here. And this was graduation taken at the end of the program. And then we have been fortunate that the Heights Music Hop has allowed us to play at the Hop. So this was this year, and there were 5 kids, and one of them returned from last year. She was not part of our program this year, but she was last year, and she really wanted to come play. So the kids are all there in the front, and the adults from the program are in the back. And this picture was taken by one of the mothers. As you can see, all the children are in view, and a few of the adults are kind of hidden back there. But it's a good time. The kids really enjoy it, and I think the audiences really seem to enjoy it. So, and we're very happy that Future Heights has given us the money, partly because it helps us buy materials. And in fact, that's our cost, is materials, because the church doesn't charge us and we're all volunteers. But also because we're not a known or an organized organization. The Future Heights Mini-Grant gives us some credibility in the neighborhood, in the community. It allows parents to know that we're actually supported by somebody who's legitimate. So that's us. And thank you for your time. Thank you for the money. And we'll talk to you some other time.
Amazing, Don. Thank you so much. We're so happy that your group has been able to perform with Heights Music Hop, and it's just so cool to see these kids learn how to build the instrument and then learn how to play it and then be able to perform. So that's just really, really, really wonderful. So thank you for the work that you're doing with those kids, and hopefully that can continue on.
We hope so. We have as much fun as the kids do.
Awesome. That's that's all you could ever want, right? That's so cool. Well, thank you, Don. Next, we're going to move on to Brandy Huddleston, who's representing Roxborough Elementary PTA.
Hello, everybody. We are hopefully going to be screen sharing. Someone's screen sharing for me, Emily Fox. So I'm not sure if that is going to be up just yet, but I'm just going to get started. So my name is Brandy Huddleston, and I'm part of the Roxborough Elementary PTA. And our project that was awarded a neighborhood mini grant from Future Heights is the Roxborough Learning Garden. So because of this grant, we were able to break ground in the garden right away in the spring of 2023, instead of having to wait on other sources of funding. And we are extremely grateful for that. We were really able to hit the ground running. We had kind of anticipated, building the whole garden all at once after getting all sorts of funds together. And this just let us get started right away. So we immediately started fulfilling our mission, which is bringing together the Roxborough community through the experience of growing food together and providing fresh and healthy produce directly into the hands of our students and families. So we had a groundbreaking ceremony on May 19th with Judge JJ Costello and I turning over the first soil, with more than 80 people from our community in attendance. And we had a really special treat of having a string quartet with members of the Cleveland Orchestra perform at our event. We also were really fortunate, Tommy from Tommy's on Coventry, there we go, pictures for you guys, attended, and he donated $500 for us to continue to expand the garden. which we will be doing this spring. We're going to build another 4 to 6 raised beds. And with the help of our Roxelle community and families and students, we were able to complete the construction of the first 4 raised beds 2 days after our groundbreaking event. So we're very much a work in progress right now, but we are doing a lot. So far, our student involvement in the Learning Garden has involved our student garden club planting and harvesting a variety of produce, which we have distributed at curriculum nights. And after school, we have a very community-oriented pickup schedule where, you know, everyone really walks up to the school and picks up their kids. We've had about 20 meetings of garden clubs so far. And the 4th grade at our school studies Three Sisters, the planting of beans, corn, and squash as part of their curriculum each year. And last spring, every 4th grader came down and got to plant a seed for our Three Sisters bed, and they got to watch that grow. So they, you know, the goal with that, this is going to be an annual tradition, is that, you know, eventually all of the kids at Roxborough will have had their hands in this garden, you know, doing something, and that they will continue to have an appreciation and a pride in their school and their community. So the deer also really liked the Three Sisters planting. So we look forward to eventually having our fence installed, but that's down the line because fences are expensive. So the garden was maintained by a group of volunteers over the summer, and in the fall, the garden club and volunteers helped with harvest, fall cleanup, and we did a large garlic planting of over 200 cloves of garlic that we are going to harvest, cure, and distribute next summer and fall. We'll hand that out with some recipe cards and try to have it be part of a demonstration for the students. So regarding that, we are currently working on several community-based events in the garden for 2024, including a cooking demonstration by the plant-based food truck with Chef Lee Negrelli. It's called Rabbit Food. And that is a focus on teaching the kids some healthy cooking. We're going to have a yoga class and a garden harvest event with Flex Wellness, community picnic at the garden, and we're going to make an outdoor classical music concert in addition to maintaining our presence and distributing produce at other school-wide events, such as our multicultural nights and curriculum nights. I'm also working with the school counselor to facilitate a garden lunch club for some of the students who, because of transportation or other things in their lives, don't have the opportunity to stay after school to participate in the garden. So that's where we're at for now. You know, you can see right here that we handed out produce. Kids loved walking up and just getting to pick out a vegetable or, you know, a handful of collard greens. So in closing, I would like to say a special thanks to Emily Fox, who is screen sharing for us right now, who wrote the grant with me, and as well as the Roxborough elementary parents, Karen Rolfe, Ben Schaefer, and Diana Wallace, who serve on our garden committee to help continue the impetus of us getting this just completed and continuing to raise funds and construction, along with Sahitya Wintrick from Chutney Punch, who serves as our cultural diversity and inclusivity advisor, and Ashley Sparks, who helps to coordinate our after-school garden club, which I lead. So thank you, Sarah and Future Heights, again, for your support of our learning garden. We look forward to supporting and engaging our community for many years to come. Thank you.
So cool, Brandy. I love it. Every once in a while, Brandy will text me some updated pictures or what's going on in the garden. I love that. Anytime I get a text from Brandy, I'm like, it's gonna be good news, something to brighten my day. So thank you so much for doing this work and you know, including this garden and having creating that opportunity for the students. It's just so amazing. So our next group is Start Right CDC. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's anybody here on the call tonight representing this group, so I will just share a little bit about their project. Their project is called the Neighborhood Book Fair. They were awarded $1,000 to support the creation of a book fair that will help to promote reading and literacy in the Caledonia neighborhood, where there is no library within walking distance. So we are, you know, thankful for Start Right and the work that they're doing in the Caledonia neighborhood and in our community. So I guess on their behalf, it's not really an award show, but I just wanted to share a little bit about, you know, their project. I'm going to represent them here this evening. So we'll move on next to Jackie Brown, who is representing Studio Cat at Artful. So Jackie, take it away.
Hello. Nope. Okay. All right. Hi. Can everyone hear me? I hope so. I have some slides. Oh, how do I make that go away? So my name is Jackie Brown, and I have I have Becky Rinaldi here with me, and she is from Plan JFSA, and we have worked together for several years, probably since maybe 2018 actually, creating art workshops for cognitively disabled adults. And this past year, 2023, I was able to get a mini grant from Future Heights and create a series of workshops that ended in an exhibit. And so we had done this once before, and we had the exhibit at Coventry Peace Campus, and we had the workshops at Artful up in the flex space. And here are some pictures of the exhibit we had at the end of that one. And so this year again, we had workshops at Artful, and this time we had non-disabled volunteers working alongside our disabled participants. And that was a great addition to bringing community in and giving the participants a sense of community while working on their art. Oh, my photos aren't showing, I hear. Maybe I have to hit the share thing. Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right. So thank you, Brady. And I can get it back. So, all right. So this was the exhibit we did at Coventry Peace Campus, probably in 2022. And then this is some images from in some of the projects we did at Artful with our non-disabled volunteers working alongside. And we were able to do clay projects where we had clay and kiln time, donated by the ceramic studio at Artful, and the mini grant bought supplies and the facilitator time, which was mine. And then this time we ended our exhibit with a public display at Made Cleveland on Coventry Road. And the participants were very excited. Like, they loved being out in public with their artwork. People would come by. It was like in December, so it was during holiday time, holiday shopping time. People were coming through and they were like, this is my artwork. And they were talking to people about it, and they loved it. And it was very exciting. So that is what we did. And we found it very rewarding. The volunteers also found it very rewarding. And everyone really enjoyed it. I don't know how to get out of, I think I stopped sharing, didn't I?
You did, yes.
All right.
That's awesome, Jackie. Thank you so much.
Great.
And I got to check out the exhibit at Made Cleveland. It was so cool to see that happening in that space and to meet some of the students who participated in the workshop and everything. So very, very cool work. So thank you, Jackie. So those are all of our spring 2023 awardees. And so now we're going to move on to our fall 2023 awardees. And kicking off that segment of the program, we have Mark Rodney representing Boulevard Neighbors.
Hi. I have kids in the background. Just want to warn you if any of them pop in the window. So I'm representing Boulevard Neighbors. We're a neighborhood group that draws the boundary between Lee and Taylor, and then Euclid Heights to the north, and Berkeley to the south. Yolanda Brown, I know, is a part of that group. It's great to see your Block Party represented. I'm sorry, Yolanda Stone. A group of us that are part of Boulevard Neighbors started talking about some housing issues and got interested in what's called a community land trust. And we decided to start a subcommittee to kind of research it more. And someone knew a community land trust consultant, Marge Mizak, who helped start several in the area as well as in Columbus. And we met with her and decided to pursue some grant funding to support that. So just to summarize what a community land trust is, it's a creative way to provide perpetually affordable housing it could be residential or commercial as well, but we're focusing on residential. And the way it works is there's a nonprofit that owns the land, and then the structure on top is owned by individuals. And there's a deed restriction that requires that if they buy it at an affordable price, it is then sold at an affordable price as well in the future. And there's different ways that can be calculated. So we saw this as a great opportunity because it really would stabilize affordable housing, and it would be the kind of affordable housing that's not just a single grant or reduction to one individual or company, but it's goes forward really with a 99-year land lease that's then usually extended beyond. So there's also a tripartite board that kind of oversees the properties, and that consists of 1/3 representing community members in the neighborhood, 1/3 representing residents or owners of the housing, and then 1/3 representing some expertise in housing and maintenance and other things like that. So we decided to originally we were thinking of applying for assistance for a consultant, but Marge has been basically offering her services for free through this initial process. So we soon realized that getting nonprofit status made the most sense. So that's how the funds are supporting us from Future Heights. We had a meeting with in November with someone from Future Heights, as well as the Home Repair Resource Center, the city, and some also Cleveland Legal Aid and some neighbors. And from that meeting, we really decided to move ahead with the project and are focusing on the Boulevard neighborhood, but we really wanted to open up the concept to other neighborhoods if there are people that are interested. So we're trying to network. We're in the process of trying to network with our neighbors as well as reach out to other neighborhoods. So if anyone's interested, please feel free to reach out. And so far, the neighborhood discussions, some of the neighbors have expressed interest in this involving aging in place housing, as well as reaching out to children and focusing on vacant lots to have activities and structures that would serve the kids in the neighborhood. We do have one house that we're starting with, and we have a buyer that's interested. It's a house that I currently own, and we are going to have this dedicated as an initial community land trust property. And it's on Altamont and Compton, and there's a vacant lot right next to that we're going to, some of the neighbors have expressed interest in having some kind of community project. It's been vacant for a long time. So we're hoping to coordinate with the city and see if there's any willingness to let us, our group potentially propose an idea and move ahead with a project that would be under the structure of possibly a CLT and the decision-making process that goes through. So that's our project right now. We are really grateful for the support and happy to be in touch with anyone who's interested in coordinating or collaborating. Thank you.
Fantastic, Mark. Thank you for that presentation, and thanks for, I'm sure, introducing some folks to what a community land trust is, and very, very cool work that you're doing, and definitely look forward to seeing how the project continues to grow, and glad that Future Heights can be of additional support even outside of the grant. So thank you so much, and thanks for being here tonight. Next, we're going to move on to Brady, who's representing Coventry Peace Campus and the Lantern Festival. Take it away, Brady.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I just really quickly want to do a big shout out to Jackie and Robin, both artful artists. I'm also on the board at Artful, so I'm very proud of all the work they did. But tonight, I am wearing my hat as a board member of Coventry Peace. Coventry Peace was very grateful for the mini grant we received in 2023, which supported our annual Lantern Festival, which is held in conjunction with the Coventry Holiday Festival. This event is only possible through key partnerships with our business and nonprofit neighbors. And this past year, we hosted multiple lantern making workshops, including a new one located in the Bodega restaurant. We welcomed hundreds of participants and worked with dozens of artists, interns, performers, and musicians. We're an all-volunteer organization, and it took a small village to pull off an event like this. With the limited time I have, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to share a video that I believe speaks volumes to the breadth, diversity, and connection this event fosters. And I just want to thank you for your continued support of this special, unique Cleveland Heights tradition. Here's our video. Give me 1 second. So thank you, Future Heights, for your continued support. We look forward to seeing all of you in December. And if you haven't been to Coventry Peace Campus for any of our other events, please consider coming to our quarterly Peace Pops at the end of April, the last Friday in April. And you can always learn more about what we're up to by going to coventrypeacecampus.org. Thanks.
Beautiful. I loved it, that video, and the last word in that video was hope. I think that's such a key word, I think, for the work that it really represents what everybody here tonight who was presenting. Hope is what they bring to the community. So I love that. And so thank you, Brady. It's such a cool thing. I love the parade. It is a very, very energizing event. So thank you so much for all the work that you do to make that event come to life year after year. Next up, we have Kathy Blackman representing the Coventry Village CID.
Oops, I was there for a minute. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Brady, for that video, because that sums up the culmination of our holiday festival. It was such a wonderful way to wrap up that day. We used our funding this year to supplement what we put on for the Coventry Village Holiday Fest, which was the same day. We were up without a executive director for a short period of time, so I sort of took over with the help of many others to plan that event this year. And it's always a great day on the street and so many activities go on. Let me see, how do we do this? Share screen. So this was sort of our, oops, this in the way. This was sort of the, I'm very unorganized. Here we go. This was our Holiday Fest schedule, which kind of showed what went on throughout the day, starting, we had a Jingle Bell shop at Grog Shop in B-side, which was like a pop-up vendor market. We did photos with Santa throughout the district, face painting, hot chocolate and tea stations. There, various businesses were involved with like holiday readings, caroling, etc. It was just a really nice day. And we decided this year to try to tie everybody together by creating Coventry Land. So we had this really cute little board, which of course I don't have up, which looked like Candyland. And the idea was you could get a little board and go into all the participating businesses and get a stamp by doing something like creating a lantern at Bodega, or purchasing something at Max Backs, or buying mistletoe from Diamonds Flowers, or buying a Christmas cookie. And we were able to purchase a gift card from 22 businesses using the funding that the grant provided. And then as you went along the street, you could get a little stamp, and you needed, I think it was 2 or 3 stamps, and you turned them all in. And we had over 300 boards turned in, which was kind of great, I thought, because not everybody participates in things like this. And then 3 winners got picked and won a variety of gift cards from all the different businesses. So it was really a nice way to take an event that we do every year, which is a really nice community event, but include all the businesses and giving something back to the community. And I thought that was just a nice added bonus to just our normal festivities on the street. And I think that's it. Oh, I do have a little video. Let's see. My video, I was going to do the lantern, but yours is way better. But this was just, we also had carolers throughout the day, and the culmination was the Heights Gospel, or the a cappella choir, and they were great. So this is them at Big Fun.
The sounding door, repeat the sounding door, repeat.
I do have some other silly videos, but that was the best one. And I guess I just want to say thank you so much, Future Heights, for letting us increase the width of what we do normally to include all the businesses and give something back to all the great people from the community that support Coventry. That's all I got.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kathy. Appreciate you presenting on behalf of this amazing annual event. I'm glad that we were able to help support it happening again here in 2023. Very, very cool. So thank you for that. That's really impressive. 300 of those turned in is awesome. That's very cool. That's very cool.
I know, I was shocked. We printed 1,000. I thought that was ambitious, but to get 300 back, I'm like, that's really great. So
we're onto something.
People like free stuff.
They do. They do. That's so cool. I love that. Amazing, amazing. Love to hear these success stories. And then we're still on a holiday theme. We're going to switch to Halloween instead of the winter holidays. And so next I would like to welcome Lena from Dobama Theater.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for the gift and having me here today. Let me pull up my presentation. And I will get, oh, well, first I have to share the screen. That would be helpful. And I will get going for you. Ooh, Chrome, there we go. Allow. Oh, wouldn't you know? It's gonna take me a second. Sorry, this is the first time I've ever shared my screen during Zoom because I started at Dobama in November, where I narrowly missed the Future Heights money going to serve our Halloween Fest, which was the project that we used it for this year. If you are, never mind, I will not be sharing that. If you are unfamiliar with Halloween Fest, it used to be the Candy Crawl, or Lee Road Candy Crawl. And it is still existing. Future Heights was a big part of that, as was the theater. And so it's where all the local businesses on Lee Road put out trick-or-treat tables or have people come in and do trick-or-treat up and down the street. So a few years ago, Dobama took over trying to organize that as a event to really tie in the community a little bit more, tie in the theater a little bit more, and have it be more than just a candy crawl, have it be something that was really centered around community building and amplifying the businesses on the street instead of just like, let's just do candy. So of course, it has grown in popularity, even though it was already really, really popular. And my beautiful slides that I spent a good time making, unfortunately, had beautiful pictures as well as the stats on there that we had an estimated 8,000 people come through Candy Crawl this year. So it served not only the Lee Road district, but probably a number of folks from both Cleveland Heights and University Heights neighborhoods. So it really covered the full Future Heights network. And our budget for the organization or for the event is about $4,700. The gift that Future Heights was able to give us through the grant went specifically to, and again, I had photos of this, but I have to restart my computer to share the screen, and that wouldn't work because we're in the middle of the meeting. We used that money specifically to create a magical environment for the children who are coming through for the trick-or-treat spots. So there was trick-or-treat lining the businesses along Lee Road. We did close some of Meadowbrook so that we had a DJ on both sides. There was a dance floor. We had characters. We had artists dressed as characters. And we also had large puppets from some past Dobama shows, stage shows that were utilized there. So they were actively interacting with kids in photo opportunities. We had a couple stations set up. We had Ariel and Prince Eric, as well as the Sanderson sisters, who kids could come and take pictures with. And they were, of course, in costume and in character and interacting much like a Disney princess would when you go to the park. They joined in dance parties. You could dance with Jack, the big jack-o'-lantern from the Land of Oz. And there was also face painting, pumpkin carving, a few other games, and I think there was balloon making. And there was, of course, information about the theater, about our kids' programs that are in our schools, as well as the Kids Playwriting Festival. And it was a really great space that the community could kind of come together. It was an opportunity for folks and friends to meet up and get to know each other or get to hang out for a little bit and then head off to lunch and things. I myself, because it was about 2 weeks before I started at Dobama, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to Halloween Fest. So I called up my friends who live on Essex and parked at their house and walked down, and we did the whole crawl, and it was really lovely. I saw a number of people there too. So it really was a really beneficial space for community building and making, and it was just a joy to see all of the kids in their costumes and to really instill like the magic that is part of both Halloween and the theater. So it was a perfect space to do so. So thank you so much for allowing us to specifically have the characters in space to help provide that magic and to help pay the artists who created the costuming and acted out the spaces ethically and a living wage for the time that they dedicated to it. So thank you so much.
Awesome. I know it's such a fun tradition, and it just sounds like it's being taken to a new level with being able to bring out these characters. And so I'm really grateful for the work that Dobama is doing to keep that that festival alive and running. And so thank you so much for sharing about this year's event and for being here tonight. Next, we're going to move on to Greg Van Niel, who's representing Friends of Kane Park. Take it away, Greg.
All right, thank you. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, so my name is Greg Van Niel. I'm representing a group that has been working for the last few years to beautify the landscape in and around Kane Park, which we think of as the Central Park of Cleveland. I'm going to share my screen if possible. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so we call our project Kane Park Beautification Project. As you can see, we also get support from the City of Cleveland Heights, Friends of Heights Parks, Friends of Kane Park, as well as Future Heights. And here is one of our leaders, Katie Starr, doing some planting in the park. This is actually the third year that we've been doing the beautification, and Future Heights gave us a grant in our first year to kind of kick us off, which was very helpful. And this is the grant that we got this year will go toward our 2024 phase. We're led by Gary Lustig and Eric Yarham, who's a lot of you may know that are members of the board of Friends of Kane Park, as well as Katie, who you saw before, and myself. We also mobilize a lot of volunteers from the neighborhood around Kane Park, as well as a few nonprofits that we've partnered with. And we hold what we call cleanup and green up days on like 6 or 8 Sundays in the spring to fall, where we clean up trash and we take down and take out overgrown and invasive plants in the park, and then plant a whole lot of native plants. The neighborhoods that we serve are what they call the Kane Park neighborhood, which is adjacent, above the park, as well as Stadium Square, which you may become more and more familiar with, which is being redeveloped, but is also adjacent to the neighborhood. And, one thing I'd like to say is that, a lot of people think of Kane Park as a performance park, but a lot of people use the park on a regular basis, like even daily from the neighborhood, for recreation and just to hang out in nature. And one of our goals is to make the park more amenable to, just hanging out in nature, as opposed to, there are basketball hoops, there are, there's the skate park and stuff like that. But there is a lot of area for just some beautiful nature, and that's what we're trying to propagate. As the project summary says, we're really trying to collaborate with the city and the neighborhood to beautify the park. And especially to enhance its ecological footprint by removing the weeds and invasive plants, creating new flower beds, and then planting hundreds and hundreds of native flowers and shrubs that actually add to the ecology as opposed to being detrimental to it. Just a few examples of some work we've already done. This is inside the gate. If you enter the park from the Lee Road side, that long sidewalk, you might be familiar with this spot, which was overgrown with like a whole bunch of unattractive and invasive plants. And it's not quite a before and after, because before it was really ugly, and then the city helped us clear it. And then on the right, it was after we've planted 100 or more cone flowers and numerous other native plants. And they bloomed last year, and they'll bloom even better this year. Another spot we worked on was the top of the Goodnor path. Like if you enter the park from the corner of Goodnor and Superior, there's a ramp, that goes down into the park, and next to the sign there was very ugly. So again, we had the city help us clear it, and we, planted 75 or more native plants, and there they are, and those should bloom pretty fully next year. And then finally, we did a lot of work around the box office patio. And this is just a couple examples, like under the signage, it was just, really overgrown, and they used to just weed whack it. And so we cleared it out and planted black-eyed Susans and coneflowers and a whole lot of other stuff. So again, yeah, we appreciate the money, and all the money goes toward plants. We use our own labor, obviously, and utilize residents around on those community days. So the grant money this year will go to buy more native plants that we'll put in the park. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Amazing, Greg. I love that you are bringing your group's expertise to this, and helping to work with the city and do all this. All those great partnerships are so important. So thank you for doing that work and making Kane Park look beautiful. It's always awesome to see. The before and after pictures they're always so cool. So thank you so much for doing this work.
You're welcome.
Up next, we have Sharice Bailey, who is representing Lake Erie Inc. Sharice, if you're still on the call.
It says I can't start my video. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It says,
we will work on that. Go ahead and start, and we'll see if we can figure out your video. There you are.
yep. Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay.
I think I have low bandwidth, so I may be laying jet laggy. Hi, I'm Sharice Bailey from Lake Erie Inc. I'm going to try to share it as well. Let's see. One second. Hello.
We can hear you.
You know what? I was trying to share the screen, and it's okay. So with the Future Heights Mini-Grant, we were awarded $1,000 to do a 3-day spring break camp for our Noble and Oxford participants that are in our Ink Spot after school program. I'm really excited about this because it's really going to engage the youth in our after school programs with community members and just deepen their learning. Through this Explore and Connect, it's giving them an opportunity to meet with local businesses, community organizations, a couple of city council members, and school admin, just so that they can get a taste of what it's like to run a business, work in a nonprofit. What does the city council member do? What does their school administrators do during the day? Through these walking tours and interviews of these people that come and visit them, they're going to be reflecting and writing their response through poetry, photography, and mixed media. The take of that is once they're done with this, they're going to create a publication that we're going to filter to our e-news participants, but then also the people that participated would also get copies, and we're going to identify some drop areas in the community where members are also able to read and see their experience through their 3-day journey. And that's pretty much it. I'm really excited about this. I really love Future Heights. You guys have really helped us create some amazing programs. And I'm really excited to see how the kids enjoy this 3-day spring break for free. So thank you.
Awesome, Charisse. Well, it's a mutual love festival between Lake Erie Inc. and Future Heights. So we're glad that we're able to help support another one of your programs, and really look forward to seeing the results that these students create. And this sounds like such a cool, interactive, wonderful experience. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing and that Lake Erie Inc. is doing here in our community. And we are now to our final presenter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I can't believe it. We're here to our final, last but not least, certainly, presenter. I will now welcome Nadia Freeman from Noble Elementary PTA to present.
Okay. Hello. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks for the support. I just have a brief presentation for our project. And if it'll let me. Okay. So our project is basically an external beautification of our school grounds. We those of us who are a part of the Noble neighborhood, in the Noble community, we love our community. We know how great it is. We know how much potential is there. And at Noble, we just want to do our part to make it a great place for everyone. So our project focuses on our school grounds, and the goals are just beautification and a lot of what was mentioned here, a sense of community. We all belong, we matter, we care for one another. We want to kind of proclaim that loudly. We want a better sense of safety, a perception of safety. We want placemaking, community and youth engagement. I'm a parent, obviously, since I'm highly involved with the PTA. I still have a student at Noble, and I have two that have moved on to Monticello. And there's not a lot of, I guess, safe places for middle schoolers to hang out. So we get a lot of middle schoolers at our school, especially when it's warm out. So it's kind of a gathering place for a lot of people. And we just want, and we welcome everyone, but we want everyone to feel a sense of ownership over the space that we have at Noble. We want it to be a beautiful space. We want everyone to play a part in helping to keep it clean, and helping to keep it a nice community space. We want to overall embrace the core values of our school, being responsible, respectful, safe, and kind. And also, of course, Noble has a lot of community partners. So a lot of other organizations such as the Noble Neighbors, they want to also celebrate our community and for everyone to take pride in our community. So we kind of just have a vision of what we like to see on our school grounds. We're looking to get more trash receptacles as well as signage, so that the kids are excited, like, they want to take a part too, and they want to keep the grounds beautiful. We don't want to see anyone littering. We have a lot of big events like our Noble Fest, and we want everyone to take a part and kind of making sure, like, even when the event is over, let's help clean up, let's throw our trash in the correct place, things like that. We have a lot of fencing around our school, so we hope to get some art installations there, and also to get more trash receptacles and or to beautify the ones that we have so that it's more attractive, and it helps people to know, to gravitate towards making sure that they're putting their litter in the correct place. And overall, what we want to see is that we want the outside of our building and our grounds to reflect the beauty that we have on the inside of our building. We do have art inside of the building, and we hope to just have the outside be a reflection of that, and just to have everyone kind of engaged in the process. So it's not just a handful of people, but it's more of a collective greater good, and everyone's invested in the space. And I think that's all I have.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a lovely note to end on. I guess any of these would be a lovely note to end on, but thank you so much, Nadia, for sharing about this project. It's going to be very, very, very cool to see it all come together. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for sharing about this project with this group.
Thanks
So
for
those
having
are
us and
all
thanks for the support.
awesome, wonderful. Those are all of our presentations, y'all. So we made it. We made it through. We're able to as Carrie said at the beginning, 21 awards this year. That is huge. So thank you to everybody who stuck with us through the whole presentation. I always love to hear these stories, and the chat was alive, and it seemed like a lot of great feedback going on as we were kind of going through each presentation. Right now, I'm going to open the floor to see if anybody has any questions that they would like to pose, either about the program itself or to any of the folks who are still on the call. People are welcome to turn their cameras back on if they would like to at this time. You don't have to, but it's an option. And if there aren't any questions, that's okay as well. But just wanted to just hold a little bit of space in case anybody has any questions they'd like to ask. Anybody? All right. I'm not hearing any questions. So in that case, I really just want to take some time just to thank everybody for coming. John, I believe that we do have another slide to share here. Thank you so much to my wonderful assistants here. Before we conclude tonight's program, I'd just like to offer a quick plug for the spring round of grants. Our deadlines to apply in the spring are always March 15th every year, and in the fall, September 15th. So we do have a deadline that's coming up for anybody who might be interested in applying for a grant. The main criteria for our grant is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We are looking for projects that demonstrate a community building effort. They should take place in Cleveland Heights or University Heights. You need at least 3 unrelated project leaders. And your project should aim to empower, uplift, connect, and enhance community unity and strengthen neighborhoods. So as you can see, all the projects that were shared tonight all demonstrated all those characteristics and were just so incredible to hear about. I believe that we're also dropping in the chat the link to more information about all the different Future Heights community building programs. And in addition to the mini-grant program, we also have a neighborhood leadership program. We have our crowdsourced conversations forum series as well. So these 3 programs really work together in concert together, that there are very similar skills and very similar frameworks that are being utilized in all these programs. Those are all the programs that kind of fall under the umbrella of what I run here at Future Heights. So please feel free at any time if you have questions to reach out to me directly about those. I believe we are, oh, perfect. I see John has dropped in the chat my email address. You can always feel free to send me an email if you have questions about any of these projects, or if you want to connect with any of the presenters here tonight. Also happy to make those connections as well. Really have to send another huge thank you to the Cedars Legacy Fund for their ongoing support of this program. I want to thank all of our panelists tonight for coming to share about their inspiring projects. And I really want to congratulate them all for taking this important step to be change agents in their communities, because that's really what all of these folks that you've heard from tonight are, and the groups that they work with as well. Shout out to Carrie and to John, who helped all of this run flawlessly, of course. Their tech assistance and participation really helped a lot. So thank you so much to both of them. And really thanks to all of you who are just here in attendance. I really hope that you leave tonight's event feeling inspired and energized by the great work and the potential that you see here in the Heights community. Again, my name is Sarah Wolf. I'm the Community Building Programs Manager. You know how to reach me if you need to. And that's really all that we have for this evening's program. So just thank you once again for everybody for coming out. And I wish you all a wonderful night. I also like to always wish, I never end any meeting without wishing folks rest as well. So rest is very important. Doing this work in the community is great. Doing it rested, even better. So always make sure that you're carving out that time for yourself. So important. So thank you so much, everybody. Wishing you all a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank